Have you ever read something and instantly felt like, oh, I need this? Now that's the magic of copywriting. Or what if I told you that there is a 6 step formula that turns average words into income generating copy, even if you are a total beginner? Or are you new to copywriting or you struggle to write posts, emails, or ads that actually get results? These podcasts will change the way you write forever. Hello there, welcome to this podcast where we talk about copywriting and then the most asked questions about copywriting and how you can get started with copywriting. If you are a beginner or someone who is already into copywriting and you need assistance, you need information, or you're stuck somewhere, then this is the right podcast for you to listen to. Welcome to the podcast once again. My name is Emem and I am with Pastor Akani Yene. Welcome, Pastor Akan.
Thank you very much, Emem. It's nice meeting you today, and we really have fun in this podcast. You know, the other time that we met, it was also fun talking about copywriting. Now we want to dive deep into copywriting in a way it will help our listeners. So thank you very much for having me.
Okay, and very quickly, because this podcast is about copywriting and not talking too much. So, what is copywriting, right? A combination of two words there, copy and writing. So, what really is copywriting? What is copywriting all about, Pastor Akan?
Thank you very much. Copywriting. A lot of beginners normally used to ask me these questions, especially my students used to ask me this question. What really is copywriting? Is it copywriting or copywriting? Now, copywriting, the one we are talking about, is an act or science of writing words that we call in the copywriting space copy, that persuades people to take specific action, such as buying a product, clicking a link, signing up for a newsletter, or downloading a free resource. Now, these are words that you write in order to persuade people to take specific action. Now, when you are able to write these kind of words, we call it copywriting. All right.
And these specific actions that would be taken is as a result of this copy, which is this copy is more like a marketing tool.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so and then the next question I want to ask is, what is really the goal of copywriting? Of course, I just mentioned a couple of seconds ago that it's like a marketing tool, but in a more deeper and broader perspective, what really is the goal of copywriting?
Thank you very much. Now, the magic goal of copywriting is conversion. To convert a visitor, for instance, of a website to a customer. Getting the reader, if it is a blog, for instance, if you are able to get a reader to take a desired action. It is not just about writing beautifully, but writing strategically to influence the behavior of the reader in order to take a specific action. Now, when it comes to copywriting, psychology is the king here, because you need to be able to trigger certain psychological behavior that will make the reader to take action. And that is really the goal, conversion of reader to maybe a customer or a subscriber or whatever you want the desired action to be. All right.
Okay, so we can say that copywriting is using words, playing with words to actually get someone to take a specific action.
Very correct. You are completely correct.
Okay, so and then what are the essential elements of a good copywriting, or maybe a good copy?
Now, let me before I dive into the essential elements of a good copywriting or a good copy, and now let me differentiate. What we really mean copy is really about writing. Now, in the copywriting space, whatever you write in order to persuade somebody to take action, that's manuscript. That newsletter is called copy, depending on the goal of whatever you are writing about.
Yeah.
Now, if you are writing for the reader, for somebody to actually read what you are writing, because there's that possibility that you can write and yet nobody or a number of people don't have no interest in writing it. So the goal there, that's copy, is very important, and the way you craft the word in order to get that action trigger, it is what really matters. But what are essential elements that is responsible for good copywriting? Number one, great copy typically includes one, attention grabbing headline. Very important. The headline here is the king. Because that person has to be you need to get the attention of the person in order for him to read whatever you are writing, or to even listen to whatever you are saying. You might even have a good intention, best information, but if you don't have a good headline that can grab the attention of the reader or user or visitor to read further, then whatever you are writing does not make any sense, because it cannot pass through. So number one element essentially needed for a good copywriting is attention grabbing headlines, and there are many headline formula that we are going to share in another
episodes.
Now, another important element is engaging opening to build interest. You need to know how to use trigger words, psychologically trigger words, to open your sentences and many other things that engage the reader in order to build interest in whatever. In fact, the first three sentences are very crucial to, after the headline. The first three sentences are very crucial in order for the person to read further. Now, another element is credibility and proof to build trust. Your copywriting must have credibility, as in something you can prove, either scientifically prove or socially prove, in order to build credibility, in order for people to believe what you are saying, to build trust. So you have to use a device. In this case, to build credibility, fun facts are very important, research questions are very important, social proofs like testimonials are also very important. Another key element that is very essential for good copywriting is clear benefits, not just features. You need to state clearly what is the benefit you are giving to the reader or the visitor or the user of whatever product you are giving out, and not the features about the product, or not about the details of what you are writing, but what are the benefits, what is in it for me. Every time the reader or the user will always ask this question: what is in it for me? So you need to answer that question when you are writing, in order to write a good copy. Now, the last is call to action. A call to action will tell the reader or the user or subscriber to do the next thing. Very important. You need to put a call to action. These are essential elements that will help your copy or your copywriting, whatever you are writing, to be very, very attractive. The goal of the copywriting will be achieved, and then you will be a very good copywriter if you apply this. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. And when you were talking about that clear benefits, because at the end of the day, the reason for the copy is for whoever is reading that copy.
Very good.
So whatever happens, the benefits needs to be highlighted.
Highlighted.
So these elements are all packed, they're intertwined together. You cannot take one out of the other, and
Very
so they
good.
work hand in hand.
Very good.
And then very quickly, I want to ask this very important question. What is the difference? What is the different features, or what is the difference between features? What is the difference rather between features and benefits in copywriting?
Thank you very much. Now, these are very important or salient things in copywriting. Whenever you are writing, you remember we said something about the benefit, that the benefit has to be very clear. You have to state the benefit of whatever you are writing to be very clear to the audience. Now, features has to do with what your product or what your services does. But the benefit has to do with how it helps the customer. For instance, I have a storage capacity, and that is 500 gigabyte storage capacity. But that is the features. But what does it do to my customer? The benefit is it stores thousands or tens of thousands of photos without worry. That is the benefit. And for your information, every user or customer, they buy benefits, not the features.
Yeah.
So it is very important. Copywriters focus more on benefit because customer cares about what they gain and nothing else. In fact, they don't even care about your features. But remember that question, what is in it for me? And that's very important. Whenever you are writing copywriting, make sure there is the feature side. Yes, it is necessary what the product does, but also the benefit, the helps the product is giving to your customer is very important. Thank you very much.
Or rather, a clear distinction between the features and the benefits that your product or service provides, of course. And then the last and final question for today is, what formula can I use, me and every other person that is listening out there, what other formula can I use to write persuasive copy easily?
Thank you very much. There are many dozens of formulas in copywriting that you can actually use to persuade depending on the occasion. But this formula has been proven to be working on many occasions. AIDA. This is or AIDA. This is the kind of formula that every beginner need to memorize and then use in all your copy, whatever you are writing. Now, what is it's an acronym. A stands for attention, I stand for interest, D stands for desire, and A stands for action. So you need to know that whenever you are writing using this formula, the first thing is to get the attention of the customer or the visitor or the reader. Write to get the attention first. In fact, that is very crucial, because if you don't get the attention on the internet space, if you don't get the attention of whoever you are writing to, you might end up not reading it at all. So it is very important. Grab the attention of your audience, and this is the work of the headline. It is definitely the headline. So you can spend more time on your headline more than you spend in any other parts of the writing process, because the headline is very crucial. You have to grab the attention early. Now that the attention span of people on the internet is 6 seconds,
very short.
So within 6 seconds you need to grab that attention, and the headline does that job. Now the next thing is interest. Keep them curious. Somebody has to be interested in whatever you are giving out. So that interest, you need to use psychologically trigger words in order to maintain that interest. You keep them curious. What is he going to say next? That curiosity, you know all the movies that they use curiosity
Yeah,
in
it's
order to keep the
people glued to their
people.
screens. Yes,
Yes,
they use suspense and you keep
that
hoping
is
for
it.
more. And
Your writing has to be like that. There must be that what will be the next? What is the next step? What is the next thing he's going to say? That curiosity has to be there to keep the interest. Okay, using the interest formula. Now the desire, show them what they will gain. Very important. Remember when we talk about benefits and features, we
yes,
talk about what is in it for me.
for me as a
Please.
customer, yes.
Yeah, very much important. Every audience will ask that question inside his head. What is in it for me? So show them what they will gain. That is the aspect of desire in the AIDA formula. That is the aspect of desire. Your content has to declare boldly, this is what your audience stand to gain by doing this. Now at the end, this is the last step of the great formula, is action. What is the action? Tell them what to do next. You have to tell them what to do next. Please download this. Click here to learn more. All these action words are necessary, very much important in order for them to take action. Now, in a nutshell, we have been able to explain the great formula for every beginner, where you can use to grab the attention of people, of audience, keep them curious, and then show them what they will gain and help them to take a particular action to do the next thing you want them to do. If you follow this formula whenever you are writing content, it will help your content to go viral and help your content to explode. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. And of course, the real essence for copywriting is actually to get people's attention to a product or a service. Is a marketing tool, absolutely. And you have that in mind. You have maybe your readers in mind, and then you also have in mind what you're trying to put out there. Combine all of these features together, and then there's no way you are not going to get results with copywriting. And then in the next episode, where we'll be talking about more about copywriting, we will highlight how to write a compelling headline, how you can frame your headline so that it is not only catching, but once someone reads it, the person wants to read your entire copy. And also, how do you know who you are writing for? How to identify your target audience, where to find them, and how to just position your copy for them to see, as well as what is a call to action, CTA, and why is it so important in copywriting. Thank you so much for joining us in today's episode of this podcast. This is one of the best podcasts you can find out there on how to actually succeed as a copywriter. From me, goodbye. We'll see you next time. Pastor Khan.
Thank you very much. Goodbye. See you.